don't trust nobody. In Hollywood specifically, when you get there, a lot of people don't know how to say no. That's the difference between New York City and California.
I would hope he would think about it and this would be in his mind, but I wouldn't actually know what another person is feeling.
We thought this storm was circling just around Diddy. We assumed 50 Cent was laser-focused on taking down the bad boy empire. But no, he's cracked open a vault far older, far darker. In his explosive new documentary, 50 isn't just dragging Diddy's name through the fire. He's coming directly for Jay-Z, the king of carefully curated family values, the master of image control. And this time, it's not gossip, it's legacy-shattering truth. The most dangerous voice in the documentary, Ramir Satterthwaite, the man who claims to be Jay-Z's secret son, is finally getting the mic. No courtroom red tape, no legal blockades, just 50 Cent handing him a camera and the world watching. This isn't tabloid noise from some forgotten blog. Ramir's been fighting this for over a decade, and now, he's ready to unleash the truth to millions, not just a judge. According to Ramir, his mother Wanda was only 16 when she says she had a relationship with Sean Carter in 1992, and before she passed in 2019, she made one final oath. Jay-Z is the father of the child she gave birth to in summer of '93. That child was Ramir. No trust fund, no father figure, just years of silence, and legal walls too tall to climb. And now, those walls are cracking. On camera, he claims Jay-Z's lawyers ran a full-on campaign to shut him down. Delays, sealed files, intimidation, everything to keep the case out of headlines and off record. But 50's film is not bound by courtroom rules. It's not a judge's gavel, it's a global spotlight. And that spotlight is about to burn through the prison.
They once worked together a long time ago. They're not friends now. They don't like each other. And yeah, 50 has taken every shot, especially when Diddy has been down.
Glass house that Jay-Z spent decades building. If 50 Cent delivers what he's promising, we won't just see the downfall of an icon. We'll see the blueprint behind it, how a billion-dollar brand was protected, manipulated, and possibly built on deception. This isn't just entertainment history being rewritten. This is a public reckoning. And if the truth explodes, the empire might not survive the aftershock. Let's get one thing straight. This isn't some random guy chasing clout. Ramir's story is raw, heartbreaking, and constantly buried by the system. Courts have bounced his case like a hot potato, while key testimonies, like his mother's sworn affidavit, remain sealed behind closed doors. Lawyers on Jay-Z's side allegedly twisted facts, stalled proceedings, and even claimed Hav had no connection to New Jersey despite records proving otherwise. And when caught, they called it an honest mistake. But Ramir isn't buying that. Because ever since he was a teen, his mother never changed her story. And in his heart, he's always believed her. And the law, in New Jersey, it doesn't play games when attorneys intentionally mislead. Ramir believes this wasn't clumsy lawyering, it was a calculated cover-up. Why? Because his mother, Wanda, was just 16 when she says she met Jay-Z backstage in 1992. She was a teen at a concert, stayed late with a friend, and got close enough for what she thought was a harmless encounter. But what happened next, she says, changed everything. And now, her son believes Jay-Z has spent decades trying to erase it from existence, because if true, it means Hav slept with a minor, then buried the evidence behind fame and fortune. But here's where it gets darker. This isn't just about paternity anymore. A new lawsuit has named Jay-Z alongside Diddy in a horrifying accusation. A woman, whose identity remains protected, says both men allegedly drugged and assaulted her after the 2000 MTV VMAs, when she was just 13 years old. That's right, 13. Jay-Z's response: he called it blackmail and refused to pay a dime. Not one red penny, he told the court. But now lawyers are circling, filings are public, and Jay-Z's decades-long dodge of a DNA test has become just one thread in a much bigger storm. And who's pulling that thread for the whole world to see? Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, the man who's been trolling the music industry for years, is now leading the charge in real time. But this isn't just another online jab. 50 is giving Ramir the platform he's been denied for decades through a full-blown documentary. For years, hip-hop gatekeepers shielded Jay-Z like a golden calf, polished, perfect, untouchable. But once Ramir hits that screen, backed by his mom's sworn words and years of paper trails, that polish won't just crack, it'll shatter. Because this time, the story isn't coming from gossip blogs, it's coming from the source. People thought 50 was trolling, turns out he wasn't. This isn't a joke. This is an official G-Unit Films production. And what makes Ramir's voice so powerful isn't rage or revengeance, the pain. In his interviews, he never asks for money. He asks for acknowledgement. A single letter. A yes, or even a no. But from Jay-Z, nothing, just silence. And to Ramir, that silence is louder than any denial. It's been a lifelong punishment. Now, 50 is throwing that silence under the spotlight, where it can't hide anymore. And if this documentary lands, like expected, Jay-Z won't have a shadow left to crawl into. And then there's Beyoncé. Because while Jay-Z plays chess with the courts and dodges DNA swabs like they're IRS agents, the whispers are getting louder. One industry source says Beyoncé has had enough. She's allegedly issued an ultimatum. Full transparency, or she's out. Word is, she's already working with Crisis PR. And her priority isn't Jay-Z's legacy, it's protecting Blue Ivy and the twins. Beyoncé built her own kingdom, influence, power. And if Jay-Z's skeletons threaten to torch the house, don't expect her to burn with him. She's not that kind of queen. She never was. The tension in Jay-Z's world reportedly hit a boiling point at the Mufasa premiere. He showed up smiling for the cameras, but the internet wasn't buying it. Social media lit up with whispers, especially when Blue Ivy and Beyoncé made their poised appearance. Then came the jab from 50 Cent. Jay said they said, "I did something to a kid," followed by, "Everybody get dressed. We going to see Mufasa, LOL. He deleted the post but not before it exploded online. Whether he was trolling or telling the truth, the message was clear. Jay-Z may be performing in public, but privately, it's chaos. That chaos doesn't stop with the memes. It's all unraveling under the shadow of Jay-Z's decades-long friendship. With Diddy, their infamous brunches, their billionaire bond, their mutual protection. Diddy once admitted, "When I get in trouble, Jay-Z's the first I call." But now, both names are popping up in lawsuits, and the charges aren't minor. From coercion to abuse to exploitation, this is no longer a scandal, it's a reckoning. And 50 Cent is stoking the fire, reminding the world that if one king falls, the other might not survive the fallout either. And that's exactly why 50 Cent's upcoming documentary could rock the culture. If he delivers what he's been hinting, truth, sealed court files opened, Beyoncé's rumored ultimatum, this won't just be beef. It'll be the implosion of a dynasty. Jay-Z, the mogul, the husband, the father, his entire empire is on the line. And the man swinging the wrecking ball isn't crying war. He's laughing. He's winning. He's been warning us all along while Jay-Z fights fires from one direction. The inferno around Diddy is pulling him into darker waters. This isn't just guilt by association, it's an entanglement that spans decades. Jay-Z and Diddy didn't just build careers together, they moved as one. They threw the same secret parties, signed the same shady NDAs, and made deals that were more mafia than music. But now, with the walls closing in on Diddy, the whispers about Jay-Z's own secrets are growing louder. The upcoming Diddy documentary is expected to blow the lid off years of alleged abuse, coercion, and underground blackmail. And once that drops, people will start connecting dots that lead straight to Jay-Z. After all, who was always there? At the infamous white parties, behind the velvet ropes, in the circles protected by silence and fear. Jay-Z, Diddy, and their powerful clique. But with federal raids already underway, thousands of items seized, including an eye-raising stash of over 1,000 bottles of lubricant. Those secrets are finally facing the light. Testimonies have emerged detailing a system of silence and manipulation, NDAs used like duct tape, quiet settlements, blackmail through hidden footage, and a tiered structure that ensured the most powerful stayed untouchable. Many of those high-profile celebrities who once smiled for the camera are now scrambling, deleting, hiding, because the more 50 Cent digs, the more this looks less like scandal and more like organized exploitation with roots going back over 20 years. And at the center of this media earthquake is 50 Cent, once dismissed as petty, now playing chess while everyone else plays damage control. He's on tour, but he's also hunting down the truth. And if his documentary lands the way he wants, it won't just be the end of a music career, it'll be the exposure of a power structure that thrived in the dark for far too long. Even when 50 Cent jokes about needing protection before posting memes, it doesn't feel like trolling anymore. It feels like a warning shot. He's not just clowning around, he's exposing what he calls hypocrisy. While Jay-Z and others hide behind philanthropy, 50 is peeling back the layers and showing the bodies left behind. This isn't petty revenge, it's strategic warfare. Netflix is backing the project, and the director is known for dissecting power like a scalpel. 50's not just coming for Jay-Z, he's coming for the whole illusion. Jay-Z's built his empire on transparency and justice, but where was that energy when his closest friend Diddy was accused of human trafficking? Dave, no public statement, no condemnation, just eerie silence. And the silence is getting louder, especially as Jay's name keeps showing up in court documents. His brand of dignity is cracking under pressure. Behind the scenes, it's not just Jay fighting to save his legacy, it's Beyoncé Carr, RYING, the emotional weight for the entire Carter family. This isn't just a PR issue, it's a full-blown identity fracture. The family that once embodied grace and control is now drowning in whispers, court filings, and questions no publicist can spin. Insiders say Beyoncé is desperately trying to protect their kids, their image, and what's left of their unity. But behind those flawless public appearances lies a private storm. Their daughter, Blue Ivy, once the crown jewel of their legacy, now faces a different reality, one where her last name invites side eyes and scandal. Blue's not a toddler anymore. She's a teen, with internet access, friends, and ears to every whisper. She walked that Mufasa red carpet with poise, but sources say the pressure behind that smile was crushing. For years, she was royalty. Now she might become the face of her father's collapse. And Beyoncé's legendary protective shell can't drown out the digital noise this time. Her silence, once powerful, now feels like suffocation. And every appearance, every smile, every nod is dissected by fans searching for cracks in the illusion. The fan base is splitting. Some say Beyoncé is complicit, others say she's trapped, or maybe she's plotting her escape. Whatever the case, her feminism and activism now feel like they're clashing with the headlines surrounding her husband. Go back to 50 Cent's Instagram. That post wasn't random, it was a calculated opening shot. And this isn't just about marriage drama. This is about children growing up in a battlefield of memes, headlines, and shame. Jay-Z's silence might be a legal tactic, but to his kids, it's abandonment. To Blue Ivy, it's her face being weaponized in a PR war she didn't sign up for. And while Beyoncé leans on publicists and crisis teams, no amount of spin can erase the trauma of watching your family name become a punchline. Fame brings privilege, but it doesn't protect you from disgrace. That's what makes this more than scandal, it's tragedy. Because whatever happens next, whether Jay-Z fights, flees, or fades, his children will carry the true weight of this story. 50 Cent, meanwhile, is building an empire off the rubble. Artist turned executive turned cultural disruptor. He's not just cashing in on drama, he's staging a takedown. Court records, alleged victims, and Ramir Satchel, Jay-Z's alleged son-niece, rumored to be part of the documentary. This is surgical. It's personal. 50 has waited decades for this moment, and now, he's laying out the receipts, wrapping them in storylines, and daring the world to look away. But the biggest shock might be what we haven't seen yet. Insiders say this project will expose not just Jay-Z, but an entire web of silence. And backdoor deals, rumors are already circulating. Other names, some still powerful, some barely hanging on, are being whispered. If Jay falls, who falls with him? Who else built their empire on the same cracked foundation? And here's what makes this moment different. We've seen it before. Hollywood had Weinstein. Tech had its own implosions. Now, it's music's turn. 50 Cent knows that. That's why the timing is so brutal. He's not just making content, he's launching a cultural reckoning. He's challenging fans, the media, and the silent elite who've always looked the other way. So here's the real question. If Jay-Z goes down, who tumbles next? Could this be the moment when the velvet curtain finally drops, and we see not just one icon fall, but the entire system crumble? Let us know what you think. Is Jay-Z's silence guilt, or is it the calm before a storm? Drop your thoughts below, and don't hold back, because no matter how big the legend, even legends can bleed.